Good morning Year 6 and welcome to our next science home learning lesson. Today your learning objective is to be able to describe how living things are classified into groups. In the previous lesson you classified animals by sorting and grouping them based on their similarities and differences. Do you think you sorted the animals in the same way as everyone else? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Scientists need to use a standard, recognized method of classifying living things. I want you to think about why this would be so important. Pause the video now and make some notes in your home learning book. A standard system is useful because it allows scientists to accurately identify, group, and properly name animals. Without a standard system, living things could be classified and named differently by different scientists. Pause and think about how this could cause problems if there was not a standard system to identify, group, and properly name animals. Make notes in your home learning book. Carl Linnaeus was a Swedish scientist who believed it was important to have a standard system of classification. At the time he was alive in the 1700s, there was no agreed standard method. Linnaeus collected and examined over 40,000 specimens of plants, animal and shells. In 1735, he published his first edition of Systema Naturae, which described his system of classifying living things. Over the next several years, Linnaeus continued to publish new editions of the Systema Naturae that included more species of living things. His 10th edition was published in 1758 and is considered to be the most important edition. Linnaeus's original system of classification classified everything in nature into a hierarchy. He proposed that there were 3 large groups, called kingdoms, into which the whole of nature could fit. These kingdoms were plant, animal, and mineral. He then split each kingdom into smaller and smaller groups, or levels. Today, the Linnaean system is only used to classify living things, so it does not include minerals. Furthermore, as new things have been discovered, scientists have had to add additional levels in the hierarchy. A new level above kingdom, called domain, has also been introduced. This diagram shows the levels of classification in the Linnaean system. Living things can be classified by following the levels in this system. The number of living things in each group gets smaller and smaller until there will just be one type of animal in the species group. We start with the largest group, domain, then move down to kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and then finally species. There are 3 domains: archaea, bacteria, and eukarya. Plants and animals are all eukaryotes. There are 6 kingdoms, including animal, plant, fungi, and bacteria. The 6 kingdoms are split into phyla. There are more than 30 phyla in the animal kingdom. Phylum core data include all vertebrates. Each phyla is divided into classes. The core data phylum include amphibian, bird, mammal, reptile and fish. The order are the family divided into further groups. The genus includes species that are very closely related and share unique body structures. A species is defined as a group of animals that can reproduce or produce fertile offspring. Let's see how much you've learned from the lesson so far. We're going to do a classification quiz. Pause the video now and answer all of these 8 questions in your home learning book. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time to answer. Time to check how you've done. Pause the video and see how many you got right. Here you can see how a species can be classified at each level of the standard system. First we start with the domain. Eukarya. You have jackal, cloudfish, cat, dog, ladybird, daisy, rabbit, fox and human. Now let's break that down further into its kingdom. Now we have just animals. We have jackal, cloudfish, cat, dog, ladybird, rabbit, fox and human. Can you see which one we've taken out? That's right, it was daisy, as daisy is a flower, not an animal. Now let's break it down into their phylum and the core data. So we have jackal, cloudfish, cat, dog, rabbit, fox and human. Which one isn't here this time? That's right, we've taken out ladybird, so we've narrowed it down even further. Next we're going to look at the class of animal. The class we've chosen is mammal, so these are all mammals. Jackal, cat, dog, rabbit, fox, human. As you can see, a cloudfish is not a mammal. Now we'll break it down into its order of a carnivore. We know that a jackal, cat, dog and fox, these are all carnivores. Now we've taken rabbit and human out. A rabbit isn't a carnivore and neither is a human. We eat meat and vegetables. Next we have the family. The family of animal is Canidae. This includes the jackal, dog and fox. A cat is not part of this family. Then we move on to the genus and we look at the Canis. This is the jackal and the dog. So a fox is not part of this genus. And finally, we can narrow it down to its species, and that's the lupus. This is a species of dog. So as you can see, going from the domain to the species, we have narrowed this group of animals down and classified them each to finally classify the species of dog. The genus and species are always written in italics. The names of the genus and species are used to give the scientific name, recognized Latin name, of each living thing. So the scientific name for a dog is Canis lupus. Here's your main task. Choose another living thing from this list and follow the levels of the classification system to classify it. Complete your classifying species activity sheet, which is on the home learning page, to show how it fits into each level of the standard system. Use the genus and the species to give the specific scientific name of the species. You will need to use the internet to research the animal and find the information you need. Well done, Year 6. That's the end of another home learning lesson. See you tomorrow for the next home learning lesson.